Stop for a moment and remove all distractions. What you are about to hear is not designed to comfort you or make you feel good. This is not motivation and not inspiration. This is a confrontation with reality. A reality most people avoid because it challenges everything they were taught to believe. From early childhood, society installs a set of beliefs into your mind. They sound reasonable, moral, even wise. They are repeated by parents, teachers, and culture itself. But these beliefs are not neutral. They shape behavior, and the behavior they shape is obedience, patience, compliance, and dependence. There are 4 core lies that quietly govern how most people live. They are dangerous not because they are extreme, but because they feel correct. People rarely question what feels right. Over 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli identified these same mechanisms. He understood something that still makes people uncomfortable today. Power is not distributed fairly, and it is never given as a reward for good behavior. Power is taken by those who understand human nature and act accordingly. Machiavelli's The Prince, written in 1513, remains controversial because it exposes uncomfortable truths about power and influence. Those truths did not disappear. In the modern world, they are simply hidden behind softer language and social expectations. Today, you are going to see how these 4 lies have been draining your power for years without your awareness. Once you recognize them, your perception will shift permanently. You will start to notice patterns that once felt random. You will understand why certain people advance effortlessly while others struggle endlessly despite working hard and following the rules. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to win? They get promoted, they attract opportunities, they are taken seriously the moment they speak. Meanwhile, you stay patient, polite, and disciplined, and nothing changes. This is not luck, it is not destiny, and it is not about privilege alone. It is about understanding the real game while others are still playing by imaginary rules. These 4 lies exist for a reason. They keep people predictable, manageable, easy to control. When you believe them, you voluntarily hand over authority to those who do not. Once you see this, you cannot unsee it. Your tolerance for manipulation disappears. You stop confusing morality with weakness. You stop mistaking comfort for wisdom. This is not about cruelty. It is about clarity, about reclaiming control over your life instead of quietly sabotaging it. The first lie is the foundation of them all. The belief that good things come to those who wait is one of the most destructive ideas ever presented as wisdom. It sounds calm, mature, and morally correct. It praises patience and restraint. But beneath the surface, it conditions people to remain passive while others move forward. Waiting feels safe. It feels responsible. It feels like you are doing the right thing. But in reality, waiting rarely produces results. While you are waiting for the right moment, someone else is acting with imperfect information. While you hesitate, someone else is positioning themselves closer to opportunity. While you trust the process, someone else is creating their own system and extracting value from it. This pattern appears everywhere, and once you see it, you cannot ignore it. In the workplace, the employee who believes in waiting works hard, keeps their head down, and assumes effort will eventually be noticed. Meanwhile, another employee speaks up, asks for responsibility, builds alliances, and makes their presence visible. When promotion time comes, the second person is chosen. Not because they are more deserving, but because they were more active. In business, the person who waits for perfect timing studies endlessly, plans endlessly, and delays endlessly. They convince themselves they are being strategic. Meanwhile, someone else launches early, makes mistakes publicly, adapts quickly, and improves in real time. By the time the patient person feels ready, the market has already chosen a winner. In relationships, waiting is often mistaken for maturity. People wait to be chosen, wait to be noticed, wait to be valued. But relationships are built by presence, risk, and initiative. Those who wait are often left watching others form the connections they hoped would appear naturally. Waiting does not protect you. It quietly removes you from competition. Machiavelli understood that waiting for fairness, appreciation, or permission is a losing strategy. Power does not reward silence. Opportunity does not arrive according to merit. It responds to visibility, pressure, and action. Consider two people with equal ability. One waits to be invited. The other inserts themselves into the conversation. One waits to be recognized. The other demonstrates value directly. Over time, the difference in outcomes becomes massive, even though the difference in ability was small. Waiting reframes inaction as virtue. It allows people to feel morally superior while remaining ineffective. It replaces responsibility with hope. But hope is not a strategy. Every moment spent waiting is a moment someone else uses to learn faster, fail sooner, and adjust earlier. Successful people do not wait for confidence. Confidence is built through action. They do not wait for certainty. Certainty is built through experience. Comfort feels responsible, but it produces stagnation. Action feels risky, but it creates leverage. Good things do not come to those who wait. They come to those who move first, adapt fastest, and refuse to stay invisible. The second lie is that everyone deserves respect. On the surface, this sounds ethical and civilized, but in practice, it weakens your position and destroys your leverage. Respect is a social currency, and like any currency, its value depends on scarcity. When you give respect to everyone automatically, you communicate that your standards are low. You signal that behavior, contribution, and results do not matter. And once that signal is sent, people respond accordingly. Respect is not built on words. It is built on patterns of action. It comes from consistency, responsibility, and value creation. When you treat people who deliver results the same as people who avoid responsibility, you collapse hierarchy. And when hierarchy collapses, authority disappears. This mistake shows up constantly in real life. People tolerate disrespect because they believe everyone deserves respect. They listen to advice from people who have never achieved anything. They invest time and energy into relationships that drain rather than build. High-level individuals do not operate this way. They are polite to everyone, but they are selective with their respect. They observe behavior. They notice who follows through and who makes excuses. They notice who creates value and who consumes it. Machiavelli understood that perception is reality. Who you respect signals who you are. When you respect people indiscriminately, you appear undecisive and weak. When you reserve respect for those who earn it, you create gravity. This does not mean arrogance or cruelty. It means clarity. It means boundaries. People who deserve respect understand this principle. They do not demand it, they earn it. People who demand respect without earning it reveal insecurity and entitlement. Your respect should be rare, valuable, and difficult to obtain. When people must earn it, behavior improves. Standards rise. The third lie is closely connected. Just be yourself. This advice sounds supportive, but it keeps people stuck. It assumes there is only one version of you. In reality, there are many. There is a version of you that avoids discomfort, and a version that confronts it, a version that delays decisions, and a version that takes responsibility. When people say be yourself, they usually mean be comfortable. But comfort does not produce results. Discipline does. Growth requires choosing the version of yourself that feels unnatural at first. The version that sets boundaries instead of seeking approval. The version that speaks clearly instead of staying quiet. The version that acts despite uncertainty. This version will make some people uncomfortable. That is not a problem. That is a filter. Successful people do not rely on authenticity as an excuse. They deliberately shape their behavior to align with their goals. This is not being fake. It is being intentional. Comfort is habit. Discipline is choice. Results follow choice. The fourth lie is the most subtle and the most dangerous of all. It sounds wise, calm, and emotionally mature. It is often repeated in moments of loss, failure, or disappointment. Everything happens for a reason, but beneath its comforting surface, this belief quietly destroys personal responsibility and replaces action with acceptance. When people believe that everything happens for a reason, they stop asking the most important question: what can I do differently? Instead of looking for causes, they look for meaning. Instead of taking control, they wait for understanding. And while they wait, nothing changes. This belief trains people to become passive observers of their own lives. It convinces them that events are guided by some invisible plan and that their role is simply to endure, interpret, and accept. But power does not come from acceptance. Power comes from ownership. Things do not happen because the universe decided they should. Most things happen because of decisions, preparation, behavior, and timing. When those elements are ignored, responsibility disappears, and with it disappears the ability to change outcomes. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He did not believe in preserving the status quo or romanticizing circumstances. He understood that power belongs to those who shape events, not those who explain them away. Accepting reality without attempting to influence it is the fastest way to lose control. You see this lie everywhere. Someone loses their job and says, "Everything happens for a reason." Instead of immediately updating their skills, reaching out to contacts, and creating new options, they wait for clarity. Weeks turn into months. Confidence erodes. Momentum dies. Someone gets rejected and says, "It wasn't meant to be." Instead of analyzing what went wrong, improving their approach, and trying again, they protect their ego by calling rejection destiny. A business fails, and the owner says, "Maybe this just wasn't my path." Instead of studying mistakes, adjusting strategy, and applying hard lessons, they quit and label it fate. This belief is comforting because it removes guilt. If everything happens for a reason, then failure is not your fault. But it also removes power, because if outcomes are predetermined, effort becomes meaningless. Successful people think differently. When something goes wrong, they do not ask why life did this to them. They ask what decision led here. They look for patterns. They search for leverage. They treat failure as information, not judgment. Failure is not a message from the universe. It is feedback from reality. Most bad luck is not random. It is the result of poor preparation, delayed action, or avoidance of difficult decisions. Most good luck is not accidental either. It is created through consistent effort, positioning, and readiness when opportunity appears. Yes, there are things outside your control. Accidents, natural disasters, other people's choices. But even in those situations, you control your response. You choose whether to adapt or collapse, whether to rebuild or surrender. The belief that everything happens for a reason encourages endurance instead of strategy. It teaches people to tolerate situations they should leave, accept relationships they should end, and remain in conditions that slowly destroy them. In relationships, this lie is especially damaging. People stay in toxic dynamics because they believe they are supposed to learn something. Instead of setting boundaries or walking away, they endure mistreatment and call it growth. But suffering without change is not growth. It is stagnation. In careers, people stay stuck because they believe their position is meant to teach patience. In reality, it teaches complacency. In business, people justify failure with destiny instead of analysis. The truth is far less romantic, but far more empowering. Your life is not unfolding according to a hidden script. There is no guaranteed redemption arc. There is no cosmic scoreboard rewarding patience. There is only cause and effect. You are not here to interpret your life. You are here to direct it. When you fully accept that your outcomes are shaped by your standards, your decisions, and your actions, something powerful happens. You stop waiting for permission. You stop explaining failure. You stop outsourcing responsibility to fate. You become dangerous to the status quo. Ownership is uncomfortable. It removes excuses, but it also returns control. When you own your results, you gain the ability to change them. Your life is not a movie. It is not guaranteed to make sense. It is not obligated to be fair, but it is responsive to action. You are either the author of your story or a background character reacting to events written by someone else. These four lies work together as a system. Waiting keeps you passive. Universal respect removes your standards. Comfort masquerading as authenticity stops growth. Fate replaces responsibility. And while you live inside this system, others move ahead, take opportunities, and shape outcomes. The truth is uncomfortable, but it is freeing. Action matters more than patience. Standards matter more than approval. Growth matters more than comfort. Responsibility matters more than comforting explanations. Good things do not come to those who wait. They come to those who take responsibility, act decisively, and refuse to surrender control over their own lives.